All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Kelly, also known as the Earth and Spirit Witch. Welcome to Cyclical, the weekly energy forecast. So, if you can't stay all the way, don't worry. This will be uploaded so you can re-listen later when you're driving or hanging out, chilling, right? If you can't listen now, don't worry. You can get it. It's also going to be uploaded onto the A Nourishing Place podcast, of course. So we have been moving through some big energies, right? And I'm really sure that you've heard of this, right? You know that on Tuesday we had the Aquarius new moon. We had eclipse. The first eclipse, like the eclipse portal formally opening. Yes, we've been in the shadow for a minute, but now the eclipse portal has formally opened. Woo! And of course, Chinese New Year with the year of the fire horse. So, and there's a bunch of other big astrology shifts happening as well this week. So, we are truly in that portal now. And we have not only like the eclipse portal, but Saturn entering Aries, right? Like, this is a long transit. We also have a Mercury retrograde coming up on the 25th next week. And of course, it's Pisces season, right? So Pisces season is that time to really let your intuition take that front seat, really let your intuition lead. And, letting yourself rest, letting yourself surrender, letting yourself be with whatever energies come forward. It can be a very flowy season, right? If you're not fighting it. This morning I pulled the Hangman card and I was like, all right, like I really just have to let go of all expectations, all hopes of the outcomes, right? And just see what happens because I'm following my intuition. I'm taking one step at a time. So I will just open and allow and see what comes through, right? So Aquarius season was all about detachment, right? Think about what you moved through during Aquarius season. What came up for you? Did anything blow up in your face? Did that prompt you to take another direction, right? So I had a lot of stuff come up to fall away, and it's that thinking outside the box energy. What's working? What's not working? I had a lot of resistance, a lot of pretty big belief systems that had to crumble and break down. A lot of heart work was begun, and I'm continuing that work. So one of the big things I realized was that my dream life, like that destination that I plugged into the universal GPS, has changed, right? I started my business about almost 5 years ago. It'll be 5 years in June. And I set the trajectory, though, in January, February of that year. So it's been 5 years since I set that trajectory, and I really haven't let myself rework a bigger and bigger dream. And what I was going for then it's just not what I'm going for now. It's not the ultimate outcome I want. And so yesterday I spent a lot of time just writing down what my new dreams are. And and really, like, your dreams are allowed to grow and change. You're allowed to plug a new destination into the GPS. You're allowed to change your mind. And the universe is going to move right with that, right? So I am changing the path. And, you don't have to stay stuck on one path. That's like the path given to you, the path projected onto you, the path you might have chosen in the past, the path the younger version of you chose, and they thought that was it. That's not you anymore, right? And I think sometimes people can beat themselves up because who they were then made that choice and maybe liked that choice a lot. But who they are now is like, I would never make that choice. Why did I do that? Well, don't beat the past version of yourself up because they made that choice based on the tools they had at the time, the information they had at the time, based on the healing they'd done at the time, based on who they were at the time, right? And that's not who you are anymore. So you get to change, grow, and evolve. That's actually the magic. Like, you get to change, grow, and evolve. Like, you're not really on the wrong path. You're just at that fork in the road, right? And doors are opening now, right? We've got that Mercury retrograde coming up. And I know people who catastrophize Mercury retrograde and eclipse portals, but they're really such like door opening seasons if you let them be. And, if you're willing to release the blocks that are in front of the doors, right? What stories have you been telling yourself about what's possible for you, right? Eclipse Eclipse and Mercury retrograde are the portals where you can really look inwards. And of course, we always want to be going inwards to do our healing work, not trying to do all these things outside of ourselves to feel better, but going in and actually facing our shadows and actually admitting and being honest with ourselves about the wounds that we are feeling, like about the things that we have been carrying, the things we've been telling ourselves or ruminating on. Those are our choices. And now we can make another one. And man, I'm like so like my hands are all over the place today. Like maybe I'll hold my mug. But really, what old stories have you been telling yourself? What old things have you been clinging to, whether physical or intangible relationships, a career, a business path, like an offer that you need to let go of? What old things have you been clinging to? What stories do you continue to tell yourself on repeat that aren't true anymore, or they're not what you want anymore? And then, are you acting out your life and acting out your life, based on those stories? Or are you like that you're choosing to live by? Can you rewrite that story now? You get to recalibrate your identity now. Like, if you knew that you would be safe and everyone you knew would be safe no matter what, and like money was no object, right? I get that this is like a foreign concept. You're like, oh, of course money's an object, or of course that could, but if money was no object, if everyone would be safe, including you, who would you be? How would you show up? What actions would you be taking? People say like, oh, I don't know what I want. You have to clear out the logical mind. If everyone's safe, if all my fears are gone, and if everything's taken care of, who would I be? What would I be doing? What would I want to create in the world? What's lighting me up? What do I love? What do I want to show up? Who do I want to show up as, right? Ask yourself those questions, right? Because now is the time to claim that version of you. And to really start taking small actions. Not just any action, okay? I mean aligned action. Following through on the commitments, right? After that clarity comes through, after that intuitive hit, after you get that ritual, insight, or you have an energy session that just shifts something within you. This is why my clients see results in the physical, because they're taking the action from the intuitive hits that they got when we work together, and or on their own in ritual, or even on their daily walks, right? They're tech free and they're going on their, like whatever it is, like things that drop in, they're taking the action on those intuitive hits, however they came to be. One of my clients, about 3 months ago, started their Instagram account. They got the nudge to start that while we were doing a one-to-one intensive together. And now this Instagram has over 900 followers in 3 months. And that's not because they're doing what every business guru said. It's not because they had any idea how to work Instagram the best way, because they didn't, right? But because they're following through on the intuitive hit that they got, right? They got the guidance and they're taking the action one day at a time. So what do you want to experience in 3 months, in 6 months? What do you want to experience at that time? Like, now is the time to claim that path. When we think about eclipse portals, or we think about like equinox to equinox, or, we're working in these 6-month trajectories. And even when I work with the moon, it's a 6.5 month trajectory, right? So the new moon in Aquarius, I'm going to be scripting out for the full moon in Aquarius 6.5 months from now, right? So it's about 6.5 months. So that's a manifestation cycle, right? And whatever needs to come up and be cleared, and whatever needs to be moved through can be. And I'm just going to say this as a tangent, but I still have not scripted for the new moon, for the full moon yet, and I will. And not all is lost because I didn't do it on Tuesday. Okay, so don't use that as an excuse. Just still do the work, right? Even if you're a day late, right? It doesn't matter. So, even if you don't see physical results immediately, that's so much of this work. It's really having that trust and that faith and that willingness to lean in, even when you're like, oh my gosh, right? Like, so much of this work is surrender based and trust and choosing, right? I have declared I want my highest, most optimal timeline. And choosing that is going to lead you to places you did not know you needed. Like, really, it really will. If you've been here for a minute, that I started doing that last May. And long story short, we got a job transfer very quickly to Oregon. Our house still hasn't sold. So I'm living with my animals 4 hours from where my husband is, right? But I'm able to heal so much right now, and I'm moving through so much, and I'm having all these new ideas, and it's not easy. Like, this has been hard. I want to live with my husband. I want us to really start our life in Central Oregon how we wanted to, right? And I'm seeing all these ways in which, because I'm looking for them, why this had to happen, how this is for my highest good and for the highest good of all, and what's shifting because of it. And I know more and more will make more sense later. And thank you, Courtney. And, and so it really is trusting and surrendering, even on the bad days. So that I do have them, right? It's not like it's been, woohoo, I'm on my highest timeline. That's not it, right? Does not always feel like that. But I can see like, oh my gosh, this thing would not have happened if we would have just moved right in together, or like I wouldn't have showed up in this way if we would have just moved, right in Central Oregon together. So it's about trust, but it's also about taking those aligned actions. And what do you need to take right now? What specific actions do you need to anchor in the identity of you in 6 months from now, right? Who is that version of you? Who do you want that version to be? Like I said, these are not just random actions. They're not what someone else told you to do. These are intuitive actions. And we're in Pisces season. So like, let that intuition open doors. And the more you follow it, even for tiny things, even for what do I want to have for breakfast, intuitive hit, gonna follow through. It's gonna expand that intuitive muscle, okay? And, some of you might have been sitting on actions that that you want to take for weeks, months, even years, right? I see it with my clients. I'll ask them like, well, what do you want? What do you think your next step is? And they'll say, I don't know. Then they'll tell me everything they want to experience, right? And they actually know their next step. Their next step is hidden inside. It's hidden inside of everything they want, right? So it's hidden inside of everything they want, and they have to break it down. Okay, so that's why we break down, okay, here's the overarching dream. I know what I want. Okay, well, what's my next step? It's not get from 0 to 50 in a second. I've got to take 50 steps first, right? So that's what I help people do, break down the steps. And so it's micro steps. It's micro steps. It's time to get off the sidelines right now. Okay, like this is go time. Let's fucking go, right? And as we come to Saturday, we have the moon conjunct Chiron in Aries. So what old stories, what old wounds have been coming up? What has been keeping you stuck? What voice has popped up as you're writing out your dream life this week? Because go ahead and do it. Plug something new into the destination. Get rid of the old stuff that's no longer serving you. And that can even be something that sounded really good to you a year ago, 5 years ago, but you're like, that's not me anymore. I'm someone else now. I've shed my skin a million times. We just had Year of the Snake. I'm not the same person I was. So rewrite those dreams. That's all right. It's not that you're saying anything was bad before. It's not that you blame anyone before, but it's just letting go, moving forward, allowing yourself to claim that new dream. So what voice pops up when you write those new dreams down? On Saturday, clear that stuff, right? Time to go inwards, heal from the subconscious. It's always time to heal from the inside out, but this Saturday with Chiron conjunct the moon, really go inward. That's deep subconscious work. And do this inside your ritual work. Like that's where we do so much of the subconscious reprogramming. And if you do ritual without like working with someone or without meditation, like if you've never done one of mine where we have all those reprogramming techniques, you can simply try adding, listening to, I don't know where my phone, binaural beats. Just put some binaural beats on and listen to those while you're setting up your altar, while you're speaking your invocations, right? Speak your invocations out loud, right? So really like adding different layers to your personal ritual work. And if you would like to have support, breaking down those actions, those spiritually guided actions during retrograde and the eclipse portal, you can comment Mystic or DM me Mystic to get the rituals, the teachings, and the mentorship to really support you. Doors will be closing to that on Saturday. But, take this time, take this weekend, to really ask yourself, ask your heart, like come from the heart space. What new stories, what new dreams are ready to be written now on your heart, right? And what's coming from there? And then really ask yourself, do I feel worthy of that? Do I feel worthy of those dreams? Do I feel worthy of receiving those outcomes? Where does it not feel safe to move forward? And then you're going to heal those wounds. Take them to ritual. Write them down, right? All right. Well, I will see you next week. And just, again, as always, give yourself so much grace. Give yourself so much love. Tend to your body's needs. Tend to your mind's needs, right? Take a break. But also don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. Don't sell yourself short. You have this big dream and you can achieve it. And so if you are telling yourself lies about what's not possible for you, it's time to burn them. It's really, really time to burn them.